turnovers, I know. And then
Yep. So the first half, 28-7, had a fumble on probably the 15, 20-yard line, had a pick six, and then had a blown coverage where they connected on one right before half. And that's really the story of the first half that I told the guys. The game of football oftentimes comes down to a handful of plays, and we didn't make those handful of plays. And that's why every single play is so important. Every single play, you have to be locked into a focus level at this point in the season that we can't have those lapses. We can't have those three plays impact the first half the way they did. So that's really what I felt was the story. And then the second half, we had to go away from the game plan to try to play a little catch-up. And against a team like Belleville, you can't do it. So I don't know if there's a team in the state that can play catch-up in the second half. Against Belleville, I thought the game plan was good. I thought we were moving the ball defensively. A couple times just didn't get off the field on third down. They're a hell of a team. Again, kudos to Belleville. And it's a bittersweet moment being with the freshman and sophomore class, who are now class 25 seniors. I do have a lot of love for those players and going through the line and being able to hug them. And it was a bittersweet moment. And I feel terrible for our kids. I'll take the blame on myself. Always as a coach, I didn't prepare them to the way that they needed to be prepared. I thought first half there was a couple things we left out there, and like I said, those handful of plays hurt us big time.
What was the message to the team after? What was the message to the team after the game in that huddle right there?
Yeah, biggest thing is hold your heads high. I know the scoreboard doesn't show, and I just quickly talked about a handful of plays like I just mentioned, and that's things that we talk about all the time. The game of football, again, is made by a handful of plays. When it's good competition, good teams, you can always point out 3 to 5 plays that if it goes the other way, or if we do this, we do that, who knows what the score is, and that's not an excuse. That's not saying we would have won the game if we made those 3 plays or those things didn't happen. But I think it's a different ball game at halftime, and then you got a whole second half to play. And took the air out of us, but big message that I just relayed was seniors, how proud of them I am, being a first-year head coach, and for them to embrace the change, for them to come in and really give everything they got. And we faced a lot of adversity. We've gone through quite a bit, especially the senior class. So just messages to them is being really proud of them. Hold their heads high, talk about wearing Saline with pride. They've got nothing to be sad or ashamed of.
And you have talked about the first 2 years with the Belleville senior class now. Just how have you kind of, just from when you were with them every day to now, just how have you seen them grow from that time when you were away?
Yeah, you see their kids change. You see them grow into truly men. And it's hard when I'm not with them daily, so I don't get to see them on a day-to-day basis. And I know they were fired up for the game, but you see their maturity change. As freshmen and sophomores, they're going to make silly mistakes. They're going to do silly things. And I thought Belleville played a good game. I thought they had a really good game plan, played really hard. And so, yeah, I think they did a great job.
Appreciate it, Coach.
Thank you.
Coach, I wonder if you could tell me, what was that? It looked like you wanted to have long possessions, take 5 yards at a time if that's what it took, to keep their offense off the field and then punch a couple in on them. Is that kind of what you guys? It looked like you guys kind of had a slow game plan to start the game.
I wouldn't necessarily say it was slow.
Yeah, I don't know football terminology.
It wasn't necessarily the thought process to say that we got to just march the field, but we were getting chunk plays. Like I said, we were getting 5, 6, 8 yards a pop, and I thought the game plan in the first half was really good. The score, obviously 28-7 going into half with those handful of plays changes it. But no, the game plan wasn't try to take a mentality of we're going to come in and just try to take 3, 4, 5 yards carry and march down the field and score. We're not built like that as a team, and you can't necessarily sustain that for a whole game. But I thought our first half game plan was working.
They don't give you a lot of time to work to try to set up the 30-yard pass or 40-yard pass.
Yeah, we knew they have a talented D-line. They got a talented linebacker core that can run. They can run fast, and their secondary is athletic. And I thought, again, we took advantage of things when they were there. We just didn't execute on enough of them.
So I'm busy tweeting something out when they scored the 28-7 touchdown. Yeah. I'm thinking to myself, okay, they got a touchdown, hold them off, get the ball back first to start the second half, and maybe you can still win this thing. But that touchdown was huge, wasn't it?
Yeah, like I said, that took the wind out. Anytime you give up a big one right before half when you're expecting to get the ball back, like you said, say it's 21-7, we get the ball back and score to start the second half. Now it's a one-score game. That's just the game of football.
Yep.
So we're going to have to learn from it, myself and the coaching staff included. And like I said, if I can take any of the blame, I didn't prepare our guys well enough. We didn't go through situational football well enough end to half. That's something that I'll learn from and grow from and we'll be better for it.
I heard you credit the seniors for what they've done.
Yeah.
it's hard not to look at this team and say, "Oh my God, look at all those juniors!" Like,
Right.
talented juniors going all these different places. What do you think about the future of Saline football?
Yeah, I'll talk about the future later.
Yeah.
Right now, it's all about the seniors.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a heck of a talented senior class, and all those guys are special in an individual way. They're special in my heart. So we'll talk about the future of Saline football on a later note.
Yeah.
But right now, hearts with the seniors. Anytime you're walking off the football field for the last time as a high school athlete, it's one of those sports where you never get an opportunity to replicate it. There's basketball, there's baseball, there's slow pitch softball, there's all these other sports that you can play as you get older. Maybe not as well, obviously, but game of football, you're never going to be able to put the pads on, and you're never going to be able to replicate playing football. So that's where football is so special. You only get a couple opportunities a year, and so the seniors, thank you to them. I appreciate them with all my heart. I'll forever remember my first year as a head coach, and that special class of a senior class is special.
You guys are gathered down here, sitting down, and then all of a sudden you're up and you're over there.
Yeah.
Well, why'd you guys get up for that moment there?
Yeah, just to show sportsmanship. Anytime you win a district championship or regional championship, actually, shame on me, I forgot about the trophy presentation. It's just habit to, after a game, come over, take a knee, and then I remember that it's a trophy presentation. So I said, hey, we got to get up there and show respect to the other team and just won a district championship. And that's where you battle between the lines for the 48 minutes, give everything you can, but as soon as the whistle's done and it's over, show your respect, clap it up, and we're going home and they're moving on.
Last question, just in general, what do you think of the way the seniors, everybody on this team, the coaching staff, handled all the adversity this year? You know, I don't want to exploit any of that.
Right.
At the same time, this team has been through quite a bit.
Been through a lot. Yeah, when this group handled adversity better than most adults. And for a group of 15 to 18-year-olds to come together as one, to be able to look each other in the eyes and know that this is bigger than football, the stuff that we had to deal with, and also having to forfeit games and knew we weren't going to have home playoff games.
Yeah.
And that's the part that really hurts still.
Yeah.
Is for the senior class to not be able to come back one day and say, hey, we had an SEC championship.
Yeah.
Hey, remember that game that was at home in the playoffs?
Yeah.
That's just stuff that still bothers me. But yeah, just hats off to them for being able to handle adversity. And football is a game of life. And when you look back at this, when they're 20 years successful in the business world and they come back to Saline and hopefully as alumni want to support the program, and they're going to say, Coach, thank you for the season, thank you for all this, and maybe not thanking me, but they'll be able to look back at this year and have them go through a lot, and they'll be better for it.
I appreciate it, Coach. Thank you.
Yep.